Alright, the stream should be up now, and now we should be able to get this TowerDiveTV tournament underway. It's Kung Fu Fighting. Hello, Azza.
Hey, how's it going?
Alright, so, looks like we are about to hop in a game here. We're gonna kind of wait for people to filter in a little bit, cause right now, you gotta let people filter in. So, but this first game does look like it's gonna be pretty exciting.
I would hope so. We have Brandon's team here, and you guys probably see him streaming quite a bit on this channel. And he also comes and trolls us during some of our own events.
Yeah, definitely. Expert timing. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited to be casting this tournament today because I haven't cast for the last 2 weeks. Well, at least in the tournaments. I've been casting on the other stuff, but
yeah, I think what week is this? TowerDiveTV Weekly 20. Wow. So this is, I think, my 16th tourney cast in a row.
16th? Wow. Dude, go Azza, man.
Yeah, the only one I've missed so far is the 3rd week. So I'm just trying to keep that record going as long as I can.
Well, I will never ever take your casting spot at the first position then, because I want to see how long you can carry that. By the way, just to note something about this team, this game, right off the bat, it's might be a little bit of a weird first game,
How
just
so?
because of the fact that I don't know the skill differences here. As you notice, he said Top KLNA said bronze versus diamond. Made a little quip there because Sky Kesper and his team are bronze. They're all very high, and I expect them to make it very high in the tournament, especially because one thing I noticed, we don't have people like Ichigo and other people in our bracket this week.
Wow, that's interesting. Ichigo was here quite a few weeks in a row, and then last week he wasn't here, and now this week he's not here. It's really interesting and also unfortunate because he and his team were always doing quite well in these tournaments.
Definitely. And it looks like we are going to be I'm going to shut off the music for now. Just because we're going to start talking about the picks and bans here. And I am glad to see that they are not glitching out today. They are completely, I just remember in some tournaments in the past, we'd always have to, wonder what the last pick is, and we'd have to have someone tell us from the teams or something along that nature. And wow, that picks and bans phase went out pretty fast. As you can see, Tarek getting banned right there, along with a few picks that might have some metal to them, but maybe they were specialty champions from the purple team.
Yeah, this is really odd bans. Sejuani and Master Yi certainly more than Tarek, and Tarek, after that buff, he's been actually quite good in lanes other than support even. A lot of people I've been seeing playing Bruiser Tarek, and it has been working quite well because he's got 2% of his maximum mana on each of his auto attacks, so that's a very strong pick, and it also even helps him as support when he goes to harass people with some of those auto attacks whenever he runs up to shatter them, because generally, if you're playing support Tarek, you will be close to the enemy, so why not get those extra few auto attacks in? I can definitely see why they banned Tarek, but as you said, Sejuani, Master Yi, sort of odd bans. They might be directed right towards the purple team, as Sky Kesper's team is a very high level team, as you've said earlier, and I would assume that they might have done some research on their first matchup.
Now, I just noticed here, before I even click what Sky Kesper said to me, is they did spell out TSM here. And
oh my god.
And I just noticed that, and I was pointed out on multiple occasions that it does say TSM.
It does say TSM.
And as you can see,
to get their own name.
I don't know
But
what. There's two team names. We have F Noobs Get Gold. Which team is that? I'm not even
it's blue team.
blue
Blue team
team.
is F noobs get gold.
And
Brandon.
then IDFK is the purple team. All right. And it looks like
I know that one thing I've actually known for a little bit is that Skycasper's team, they really like to run a Thresh support or even a Thresh jungle. So those two things can be. Well, that team, I know that they like Thresh. They definitely like Thresh. So I'm not too surprised to see a Thresh pick here. And in the purple team's response, they have Tristana Lulu along with Ryze and Wukong. It's sort of a weird comp. I can't really see exactly what they're doing with that comp right now, as you have someone who's an extremely good team fighter, such as Wukong and Lulu, and then you also have a lot of single target damage in terms of Ryze, and he can use his ultimate to make his abilities AoE, but they're still extremely small AoE, and it's not. I wouldn't call Ryze a team fighter that's up there with a lot of other mages. He's definitely more of that machine gun caster that can just keep dishing out spells, keep doing a lot of damage over time. Not
dude.
damage over time in terms of his spells, but, sustained damage.
Well, also another thing about Ryze that I just like to point out is he can't really easily get dove onto. One of the reasons we're seeing a weakness in AP mids right now is just because they can be dove onto and just killed. And Ryze not only builds semi-tanky as his build, but he has spell vamp and can build even more. So he is incredibly hard to kill and just catch out and blow up in that short little time. So that's going to be a definite advantage of them. Just looking at both teams, though, both teams definitely have a really, really strong game. Which team do you think, though, would have the late game as opposed to the early game?
Well,
I'm seeing a lot more early game on the blue team, personally.
the blue team does have quite a bit more early game, but at the same time, their kit also synergizes well into the late game. Generally, if you have some of these champs on their own, they might not go too well into the late game, but Kayle is an extremely strong champ in the early game, and in the late game, her biggest use comes from the fact that she can make someone invulnerable, and you put that on someone like Riven, who's just going to dive into the back line and do tons of damage, because you definitely build Riven as more AD than you do as a tank, so it is in the bruiser spectrum, but it's more towards the damage bruiser than the tank bruiser. So having Riven dive in, assassinate someone like Tristana, and then have that invulnerability on her when the enemy team starts targeting her is going to help them out quite a bit. Not only that, but they also have a decent amount of poke because they have Ezreal and Jace as well. And Ezreal, he's just an all-around champ, so he's got a good early game and he's also got a good late game.
And just letting you know, we are now just waiting to get in the game right here, and the summoner spells have been revealed. So now we can talk a little bit about them. Most of them are fairly standard, though, and I have to say I really do like the teleport on Ryze, giving him a lot of roaming potential. As you know, Kayle is a pretty fast champion and does have a lot of ways to make things happen all over the map, and I feel like that was Ryze's attempt to kind of keep up with that. That was very good. And Tristana going for a ignite over the cleanse. So
That's interesting.
we're going to have to see how that ends up going. Maybe they're looking to go for a little bit more of an aggressive lane. Bot lane here, we do have an Ezreal and a Thresh against a Tristana and a Lulu. Tristana and Lulu can both be a very aggressive early lane. Tristana has a lot of damage early game. No matter really how you build her, she's going to be putting out that heavy early game and things of that nature. And
Yes, indeed.
so will Ezreal, but not quite to the extent Tristana has. Ezreal's a little more of a safe pick, but he does have way better poke. And Lulu and Thresh both are champions that can promote both safe lanes or really aggressive lanes. So, I'm really not sure what to say about this bot lane. Just that I'm interested to see what happens.
I feel like the bot lane is actually going to come down to how the supports play it, because if Thresh can start landing those pulls, if he can get off some really, really nice abilities, then they're going to be able to make action happen. Ezreal, because Ezreal has his dash on his arcane shift, or flash as it would be, then he can easily jump up to wherever Thresh pulls him and do quite a bit of damage. He's got that gap closing. So they're going to have to work together pretty well in the bot lane, and we're going to have to see how Thresh plays the champ. If he can't land any pulls, if he can't make action happen, then Tristana is going to be able to farm through the early game to shorten her mid game and then get to the late game where we know Tristana is in complete powerhouse in the late game.
Definitely. Tristana, I would say, definitely beats out Ezreal in the late game, not only because of her range, of her abilities, but because of a few other factors, just that she does have a health, she does have that healing reducer, and she also does have a pretty good escape. Ezreal actually, I'd say, have a better escape that's less glitchy, but his ultimate also is going to synergize more in team fights. But for single target damage, Tristana, with that 90% attack speed boost at level 5, max level Q, is probably going to end up, he's easily going to be able to burst down Thresh or Riven or Ezreal. So it's all going to be down to how Kayle ults, or even if they make it to the late game. We'll have to see. As you do see this, we do have bronze and silver borders versus platinum borders, and there are really no judgments of skill because, you can't really do it, but we do have the TowerDive Pro tournament here.
Yeah, this is our pro team. This is the one we have decided to adopt on the side of the blue team. That is led by our very own Brandon Skycasper. And on the opposing team, they don't really have too many borders, but as we know, borders don't really say everything. So let's take a look at the skins for a second. Oh, well, that was a very quick second. but we do have, let's see.
No time for color casting there.
Yeah. Rocket Girl Tristana, Dragon Tamer Lulu, Championship Riven, and Judgment Kayle. Is that a J skin? I can't tell. I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? Well, anyway, let's just take a quick look at where the lanes will be going. Looks like it will be Wukong versus Riven top. Very interesting because I personally haven't seen that matchup very often. A Jace versus a Vi in the jungle, and a Jace jungle, again, something I don't see too much of. So it will be really interesting to kind of see a game like that.
Yeah, and it looks like the blue team might be gearing up for an engage. They do have Thresh, and if he starts with his pull, he might be able to...
Doobie might be able to get caught out here. No! Oh. He ends up throwing the hook in the wrong direction. Does take some poke, though. Wants to maybe see if they can force him out of lane, or maybe just give him a worse start in the jungle. Yeah, that engagement is going to make it so... Are they going to take it, or are they just going to back out? We're going to have to see. Yeah, it looks like they just wanted a ward. Yeah, they just wanted a ward there.
Alright, that ward, we're going to have to keep an eye on that situation right there, because there are a few things that can come out of this. First of all, there might be a huge mind game here, because we're already seeing Vi, she's going over to her red buff in terms of the jungle, so right there, they already scared her away from taking her blue, which is a very interesting play, because they're not actually going to take the blue, so they're going to end up slowing down Vi's jungle, whilst Jace is still going to be able to continue with his own jungle, and he might even go from his red buff to the enemy blue buff, which would also be a very strong tactic.
Definitely, and wow, that's very nice there. Thresh and Ezreal taking bot golems. It's going to give them a nice little advantage, which is also going to snowball the advantage they got over the jungle. So, and it looks like Doobie not opting to take Wraiths first. He did have time for that, but it's not going to end up happening, and looks like they will be sending Ryze top and Wukong mid, which, I don't really know if that's the best idea, because Kayle, before she was a great mid lane champion, she was a bruiser top lane, and her real strength with being a top laner was she bullied out melee. And
oh my god.
Looks like that is a first blood for the blue team coming out there, and Riven easily flashing on Ryze, picking up that kill.
That was just... I saw that kill, I don't know if you caught that on stream, but basically he walked into lane through the river, Riven saw that and just started flipping on him, doing so much damage, and that was really all it took. She didn't even blow her ignite.
Definitely, and Thresh and Jace looking like they just did invade right there and get blue. I'm going to do a
Ooh.
check. Yeah, they did just run in and get the blue on the side of the red team, and his own blue just still sitting up there.
That is extremely powerful, and as we predicted before, he does go for that jungle invade route, so he's got his own blue protected.
Ooh, Riven almost dying to the tower there, doing a very nice job of juking out of the tower range at the last minute though, but Ryze almost going down, might be forced out of lane again.
Yeah, and Wukong is having a pretty bad time.
And there's another kill top lane, maybe top lane. Oh, will Riven fall down to the minions? The minions chasing, no, it won't. And it looks like Wukong going aggressive on Kale, and Sky Kesper jumping in, killing Doobie in the mid lane, going really, really far in. And it looks like Lulu gets caught out by that Thresh Hook, diving a little far under the tower, but don't know if they're going to be able to pick up a kill. No, not wanting to get killed by the tower. So it looks like they will back off right there.
I think at this point already, the blue team knows the skill difference that they have, and they're just being hyper aggressive in the early game. And right now, they might be not quite going for a kill onto Wukong there, but it's pretty convincing lead that they've already gotten. 4 minutes into the game, they've already gotten 3 kills. That is some great team communication and teamwork. Here's the dive.
Definitely. And oh, looks like they might take down Kesper here. Yeah, Kesper will go down, but Toxic Good will end up, or Toxie Good will run in there and end up picking up that final kill, that last hit. But Kesper, I really think at this point, just as to what you were saying, they might just not be taking it as seriously, so they might be, you know, going just super hyper aggressive more than they would in a normal game, just kind of to have fun and maybe just to find their limits. And oh, Thresh Hook hitting Tristana right there, putting down a nice amount of damage.
Oh my god, one combo from Riven just took out all of Ryze's health in that engagement. She's gotten back, she's gotten 2 Doran's Blades, and Ryze, he's gotten absolutely nothing to combat that. He hasn't been able to buy really anything. He's got 400 gold. I need to see a chain dust.
Ooh, Ezreal doing a nice arcane shift out of that Vi punch. Thresh might be able to get away here too, and looks like both members will escape, and the blue team taking a nice kill with them, saying nice try.
Lulu's just trying to be a little bit annoying there, but Ryze actually opting to go back and take the Sapphire Crystal. I think that's a horrible mistake in this part. The amount... he's just so far behind. Riven has twice his levels, and she's already gotten 2 Doran's Blades. She's doing so much damage. Like I said before, one combo, full to zeroing Ryze. So Ryze really needed that armor in the form of Chain Vest or anything that would get
taken down pretty low here. One more hit from Death. It looks like he will get away there, Kale. It looks like she wanted to dive the tower there for a minute, and then she just said, nah, that's not a good idea.
And Ryze still can't do anything about Riven. He can't even walk up to his own tower because Riven is just sitting in between the towers in that lane, taking the golems, stealing farm, doing whatever she can, and I think this is a completely lost game for top lane.
Yeah, probably, and it looks like they're going to look to dive on Vi here in the mid lane. Kale taking a lot of damage, but she does have her ult, and that will be popped just as a precaution right there. And it looks like, again, if we look at the gold difference just this early, before 10 minutes in the game, we're already seeing a 4K gold difference. Kind of just showing you the CS difference in some of the characters. As you were saying, Riven is so far ahead right now of that Ryze in the top lane. Mid lane is winning mid, and the jungler is beating out the jungle. It's just kind of a win all over the board, and the blue team is just doing well, and just lots of kills just coming out for the blue team all over the map.
I think this is almost cruel what the blue team is doing here. It seems they've definitely got the game won. I don't think they really need to worry about the red team taking it back.
Jace going aggressive on this Lulu. Oh, that tower shot! Looks like Thresh will do the neighborly thing and be like, come along.
Wow. This game has already snowballed out of control. There's really nothing that the red team can do. They're going to try to pull off a gank in top lane, but Riven, she's so far ahead in level and items, she might be able to 1v2 this.
Oh, looks like she is going to try to do that. See how many kills that she can pick up, and it looks like they're immediately going to back off, seeing just how much damage she has. And it looks like, will Riven try to do something here? She could look to do something here. Oh, it does end up picking a kill on Wukong right there with the nice wings of liberty, or broken wings right there. jumping right in. Looks like she wanted to go for Ryze too, but didn't end up doing it. And it looks like Tristana doing actually a pretty nice jump there, getting out of the range of Ezreal's stuff. But oh, Ezreal with a really nice ult, but it looks like Thresh will fall right there. That will be a kill for diving the tower. But then again, as you were saying, they're so far ahead at this point. I'm not really sure if the lead can be closed.
Yeah, they originally they really just don't need to worry about what they're doing. They don't need to. If they dive the tower, if they give up a kill, you know, then it doesn't really impact them that much. As Sky Kesper right now is probably going to try to 1v2, and he's got a pretty good chance at winning. Nobody's level 6.
I would have hoped. There's someone posted in the chat, or at least Lunette just posted in the chat, that they were originally going to run Mordekaiser Yorick bot lane and feed the AD and play that whole card. And I'm just saying, I am disappointed. I would have loved to see that. Now Kesper getting a little bit too low for his liking, having to flash away there, but it looks like he will be able to get away. Jace, a very fast champion, especially switching to his gun. It gives him a movement speed bonus and that gate.
This game is just... Riven's gone back. She's gotten a Brutalizer along with Ionian Boots of Lucidity. She's already gotten 25% cooldown reduction on her skills. I don't know if... Yeah, I can check the rest of her cooldown reduction. She is running a few on her runes and masteries, and it looks like
will
another
Vi
dive.
fall down here? Vi getting dove past multiple towers here, and now it looks like there will be a fight here. Ezreal and Thresh taking on 2v1. Ezreal missing everyone, and Kayle gets shut down, diving a little bit too far, but Tristana gets picked up in response. Ezreal getting a double kill right there, and it looks like they will be able to take this tower and might look to push a second one, as they are still up one man.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
You know what? This game still is not quite as bad as the Armageddon game in IEM Singapore, I think it is. And I know that because someone on the red team has in fact reached level 6.
Lulu being taken. Really? There was a stomp that bad in IEM Singapore?
Well, the jungler for Armageddon, which is a Dota 2 team that was for some reason invited to play in IEM, their jungler did not make it to level 6.
They were invited to play in League of Legends?
Right, yes, League of Legends. So they were running jungle Darius. He did not even reach level 6. So Doobie here, he has reached level 6. So this is I've certainly seen much worse games.
Maybe it was just like a maybe it was a team of just like you know, they were like, oh, you know, we play Dota and it's harder, so League must be easy, and then they try playing League, and then, well, I do agree Dota has a few harder mechanics, but League is so different that you can't just switch games and do that. And it looks like there is a team fight here. Vi and Wukong being picked up immediately, and it looks like Thresh's knockup will catch Tristana, bringing her back into that fight, not letting her escape, and that is a 3-for-0. They're just going to tank this tower and take it, and it looks like Riven going in. Possibly might go in to dive Ryze even farther, but no, it looks like Ryze will make it to the Summoner Fountain here. And blue team getting executed, but at this point they're taking an inhibitor at 11 minutes. Not sure if they really care all that much.
This is a really unfortunate game for the red team, and an unfortunate matchup that they've gotten such a game in the first round. It's
definitely, and you know, maybe I can personally say back when my team would randomly, as a random bronze team, we'd be having fun, and then we'd just go against these people who stomped us. It's kind of an eye-opener too, but it can also be fun because you go into the game knowing that, you know, you might not win, so you generally play for fun rather than just playing, and play for the experience. So I honestly think it can be a very, very good thing just to, you know, just to play against that. For example, we played. My friends were queuing up a while ago in the Team 5 queue, and they ended up playing against Curse, and they were like a few hundred ELO for their team down of Curse. But what happened is Curse said they were waiting for like 2 hours, and then the queue finally popped. So like something like that. So apparently they were the only one, and Elements is a feeder. It's the only Elements and Cop. No, Cop was a feeder.
Moral of the story.
Cop was a feeder. That is the moral of the story.
Yeah, as you said, I don't really think that the red team should take this as a, oh, we lost this badly. There's no way we should continue trying to be a team, and that's really not how anyone should look at this. First of all, you're going up against Skycasper's team. They've been practiced quite a bit. They're all really high elo players, and they work really well together. They've been queuing quite a bit recently, so they are a very solid team. And losing to them is not something that is rare, if you know what I mean. Losing to them happens quite a bit, and you should certainly not feel discouraged. Just keep trying at the game, keep practicing, and next time I guess what I'm mainly trying to go off with here is don't give up. You're facing a really hard team first round.
Don't give up, never surrender.
Well, technically they can't surrender.
Yeah, it looks like blue team picking up a few more kills here. Thresh getting ulted right there, and Vi will get taken down. Wukong probably short after. No, it looks like he will actually make it back onto the fountain, but super minions are knocking at the door of the Nexus of the red team, and it looks like this will be GG here coming out from the blue team. A very, very nice, quick first game.
Well,
that was very, very well played on the blue team. They ended that quickly, but congrats to the red team. They didn't give up, and there was no real flaming, no real anger there. So I gotta give them props there. So that was a pretty interesting first game coming out there.